Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. It's your pricing and purchase question email line from you to me and my hand-picked crew when you want to buy this or any watch you see here on Watchbox Reviews, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing a lovely 40mm red gold Vacheron Constantin Patrimony automatic, or in Vacheron parlance, self-winding. 40mm, the watch is thin and fine, measuring only 8.7mm thick, and from lug to lug, a very agreeable 46.8mm with a 20mm spacing between the lugs. Let's take a quick look at the hardware and the software. The strap is a black high-gloss, large rectangular scale alligator leather with a monotone stitch and a folded edge showing the layers of construction. Calfskin on the underside. You'll note this is a brand new Vacheron factory strap. You will have the pleasure of gouging and crimping it first, and you will do so with this, a rose gold Maltese cross pin buckle. I should be honest, this watch is not rose gold. Vacheron advertises it as 5N, which isn't pink, it isn't rose, it's red gold, and it's incredibly intense in person. It's almost like fire in metal form. On my wrist, 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see the watch is flat, sitting even lower than its 8.7mm thickness. It will clear any dress or exotic cuff, even your cufflinks. The watch is narrow across the wrist, so I can easily recommend it for a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. I'm going to go somewhat against the grain here, appropriate enough on my wooden backdrop. We love the Vacheron and Patek brands here at Watchbox, and I know other personalities on our channel will sing their praises, but I have to say that if you don't want to run with the pack and you want the same level of quality, maybe better, get this and don't pay the premium. It's a glorious watch from an all-time great brand, and look at the quality of what you get. The case band features lugs and case made separately and welded together with a sharp cleft or break between them and high polish on both surfaces, meaning all of the physical remainder of the weld was removed manually and then hand finished to create that sharp break. The case has a lovely downward curvature, and you can see it curves around even as it curves down. That's the complex compound curves of which I often speak. You'll also note that the profile of the lug is thrusting, strong, strident, and chiseled. So the case is rounded, but the lugs are sharp and angular. It's a lovely blend, and there's even a little bit of an inverted upward ducktail to the underside of the lug profile. So the lug profile itself is fairly complex. Now you'll appreciate that Vacheron used semi-curved spring bars to allow the strap to be drilled close. The lugs are drilled close to the case, but there's no encumbrance. You can pull the strap straight down because of the curved spring bars used. The bezel is domed and slender in profile, minimalist, framing a black dial, and the combination of the black dial and the red gold bezel, a potent contrast. This is an intense watch. Black dial, all applique, red gold indices. You can see large indices for the quarters, stick indices for the other hours, and at center baton style hands with a counterweighted lancet style seconds hand and an applique red gold Vacheron Maltese cross logo. You will note rose gold, or I should say red gold, dimple style minutes and seconds track outboard, and a few welcome refinements here. The watch features hacking seconds. Seldom do we find a Patek automatic that has that feature, and of course, because this watch has a date, there is a quick set function. Vacheron having the good taste to use a black disc on a black dial. Turn it all over, and you can see the caliber, 2450, a manufacture movement, and if you recall the old Vacheron Hour Lounge, Carrie Voutilainen once wrote an article favorably commenting upon this caliber at the time of its release. Unfortunately, the Hour Lounge is no more, but we remember it well. It lives in our hearts and minds. This is a wonderful movement, starting with the rotor, which is cut on a rose lathe with a handsome guilloche Grand Orge, or expanding barleycorn pattern from the center. Now you'll note there's black polished screws at center, then a sunburst at the center of the rotor, then ceramic rotor bearings operating unlubricated, high efficiency unidirectional winding. Moving further out, you can see the Vacheron logo is actually on a media blasted strip, and then outboard of that there is satination applied with a lapping machine. It's a 22 karat mass too, not 21, not 18 karat, not tungsten, 22 for maximum value and maximum efficiency. The 27 jewel movement features the Poisson de Genève, or the Geneva hallmark, which I will find and show to you. But it is the highest standard of finish that you will find in the city or canton of Geneva. And in addition to being Geneva hallmark, It features, and there it is, right below the balance, 5-position adjustment, which is the high horology standard. It's generally what you'll see on chronometer-grade watches. You can see the Côte de Genève are darker on one side and lighter on the other because they're laid down with an abrasive wheel rather than stamped. Stamped Côte de Genève have an even color and texture across. The screw heads are all black polished with chamfered slots and chamfered circumference. There's an overlapping engine-turned perlage on the base plate, and then you can see the regulator assembly itself features black polish at the stud holder, as well as the root of the assembly and its 2 fixing screws. This is a beautifully made movement with a 40-hour power reserve that beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, 30 meters water resistant, so it's not an aquatic timepiece, but in every other regard, darn close to perfect. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com to purchase this beauty.